A nationwide crime spree spreads into the metro.
How the suspects got away with electronics worth thousands.
An 11-year-old boy shot in the head.
I investigate what led up to that gunshot.
A month after it opened, work continues on a busy street downtown.
I've got details on what the city plans to do to make this OKC Boulevard intersection safer.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KOCO 5 News at 6.
Caught on camera, a nationwide crime spree hits the metro. I'm Jessica Shambach.
Thanks for watching at 6. I'm Abigail Ogle. A group of thieves sawing their way into a big box store without tripping any alarms. We have this picture here. You're seeing how they got in and where they got in. They left, by the way, with electronics worth thousands of dollars.
KOCO's Christine Sanwin joining us live tonight in more with what she's uncovered. Christine.
Jess, yeah, not only has this also happened here in Moore, but investigators telling me tonight that it's also happened in North Texas and also Dallas.
Sparks flying.
This is a new tactic that we're seeing, so.
And no alarms tripped.
It's a pretty ingenious way of doing it.
One by one, these 6 suspects break into this Best Buy off South Service and Moore.
They used a gas-powered saw, so they didn't need access to electricity.
It happened around 5 a.m. September 25th, getting away with $50,000 worth of iPads, MacBooks, and other computers in just 18 minutes. They got in through this locked overhead door, wearing sweatshirts, masks, hats, and gloves. They made their way into the stockroom you see here, grabbing 3 large trash cans. That's when they went into the computer section and used the saw to cut into a locked cage. Lieutenant Dudley says he's spoken to investigators in the Dallas and North Texas area, saying the same thing happened at Best Buy's there. The thieves escaping through the makeshift hole they entered.
So I'm told that investigators are actually trying to use DNA evidence to try to catch these guys, but they also don't have any vehicle description. That's why they need your help. If you recognize those men in the video, call police. Reporting in More tonight, Christine Stanwood, KOCO 5 News. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Christine. A local 11-year-old boy shot in the head.
This is one of 7 shootings in 72 hours, all in Oklahoma City. KOCO's Aaron Bew asked police what led up to the gunfire that hurt a 5th grader.
Abigail, Jess, I spoke to police, the school district, and even neighbors. I'm told when police arrived here to South Grand and Western, they found that 11-year-old with a gunshot wound to the head.
And it's just very terrifying.
That's how Christopher Kennedy describes
An 11-year-old getting shot in the head.
According to police, officers were called out to Southwestern and Grand for a welfare check. That's when they discovered a Roosevelt Middle School 5th grader had been shot in his left eye.
I feel sorry for the parents that are involved in that situation.
Police say the 11-year-old was very vague with his story as to how he actually got shot. He told officers he had been hit, but didn't know what hit him.
If he was shot by accident, then that would be an unfortunate circumstance.
Police are still investigating to see if the gunshot wound was self-inflicted or not, or if anyone else was involved.
Just educate your children on those. And if somebody does bring a gun to them, they know to say no and walk away from it.
The 5th grader is expected to be okay. If you have any information regarding this shooting, give Oklahoma City Police a call. Reporting in Southwest Oklahoma City, Aaron Bew, KOCO 5 News.
New tonight at 6 o'clock, a juvenile inmate escapes from a local detention center. We're told it happened at the Couch Center in Norman near Tecumseh Road and Flood Avenue. We don't know why the minor was there, and authorities have not released any other information. Ongoing problems with housing at Tinker Air Force Base. Tomorrow, Oklahoma U.S. Senator Jim Inhofe will talk about the issues, and the acting Secretary of the Air Force will be at that meeting. Earlier this year, we told you about problems with mold at housing on Tinker Air Force Base. Some families filed a lawsuit against the company that manages the on-base homes.
Oklahoma women going topless. Lots of talk about this new federal appeals court ruling. I told you last week, a court in Colorado ruled women can walk around topless in public, Circuit 10. But some are saying not so fast. Oklahoma City police echoing that today. They say a woman could still be cited or jailed for being topless in public because it is still against Oklahoma Municipal Code and Oklahoma City Code and also state law. Oklahoma Attorney General Mike Hunter says this ruling does not automatically override local and state laws.
An Oklahoma man died after being mauled by 3 dogs. Police say this attack happened Saturday afternoon about 20 miles east of Durant. The victim died at the hospital earlier today. Authorities aren't sure if they'll pursue charges against the dog's owner at this point. Police did say the same group of dogs attacked 2 kids earlier this month.
Now to a nationwide investigation involving an Oklahoma City medical lab. Federal agents actually raided this lab on Friday. They say this is part of an investigation into fraudulent genetic testing. The lab's owner is accused of telling patients they needed genetic testing to get more money from Medicare. He is one of 35 people accused of billing Medicare more than $2.1 billion for these fraudulent or phony tests.
A Metro woman says she was publicly shamed on social media. The mother of 2 says a restaurant near Classen and Northwest 34th posted her face and a receipt on Facebook saying that she didn't pay her bill. Only on 5, KOCO's Patrina Adger spoke to the woman as well as the server who was standing by his story.
Tiara Lee tells me she woke up Sunday morning to find this on social media, a post from the Classen restaurant saying she didn't pay her bill Saturday night.
My heart dropped.
These are pictures of Tiara Lee's receipt and her image on Facebook at the seafood restaurant off Classen. Her face blurred out. Lee says she paid $100 to her server after dinner with her 2 children Saturday, since no one was at the register.
It was a $100 bill. I told him to keep the change because it would have been like $5.40. I said just keep the change.
But the server, just 3 days on the job, tells KOCO5 she only gave him a $3 tip, money he says he showed to another employee.
I didn't see any cash on the table. She had her ticket in her hand. I told her she could pay in the front.
Lee went back to the restaurant to confront the manager twice, once with police. They say cameras show she did give the server money, but aren't clear of the amount. We reached out to management for the video of the transaction and a comment, but were unavailable.
The only thing that lady gave me was 3 single-dollar bills, and I pulled it out in front of the other lady.
Put me out there in the public eye as a horrible person, which I'm none of that.
Patrina Adger, KOCO 5 News.
Okay, Patrina, thank you. A woman turns kind of into a police detective to figure out who stole her car and her credit cards. Part of this case was featured, we know I like this show, on my favorite TV show, Live PD.
Tiffany Roberts says the suspects broke her car window, opened the garage with the opener, and then rummaged through everything. So she decided to investigate. She found out the suspects used her card to pay for a hotel room in Tulsa.
I went to the front desk and found out that they were in the hotel room with my charge card and called the police.
Well, police say Ashley Ragsdale masterminded the entire thing and Lawrence Kilgore was the accomplice. Investigators say they're behind a larger identity theft and fraud operation. As for the stolen car, Roberts says it's still missing.
Dozens of our Oklahoma soldiers are preparing for deployment tonight. They start training at Camp Gruber near Muskogee this week. They will deploy to Kuwait and Iraq later this year to provide aviation maintenance support. We are thinking of them and we are certainly grateful for their service. Driving drunk with a baby and a dog in the car. The interesting question the driver had when Oklahoma Highway Patrol confronted him about having a baby in his back seat.
And still more work to be done. KOCO5 investigates the construction delays for the new Oklahoma City Boulevard. And we want to hear from you. If you have a story idea, call us right here in the newsroom. It's 405-475-5555. And you can connect with us as well on Facebook or Twitter. Just look us up under KOCO. You're watching KOCO 5 News at 6 o'clock.
What baby? An Oklahoma man apparently so drunk he did not know he had his baby in the back seat of his truck. OHP posted this dash cam video here. Troopers pulled the driver over near Broken Arrow earlier this month on the Muskogee Turnpike. They say he did not know he had his baby and a dog with him. Troopers say the man also kicked the windshield of the patrol car, cracking it. Authorities gave the baby to its mother, and that man was arrested on DUI charges.
A group of Oklahomans back in the Sooner State after helping Hurricane Durian victims. They spent more than a week in the Bahamas. 3 doctors, 1 nurse, and a pastor left September 19th. They took some personal hygiene products, Band-Aids, medicine. Oklahoma churches and medical centers donated many of those supplies. $1.5 million for Oklahoma Panhandle State University. This will help them build a new welding technology training center in Guyman. The grant is from the federal government, and it's expected to create 30 jobs.
You know, it's been more than a month since Oklahoma City Boulevard officially opened downtown, but tonight we're learning some of the work still isn't finished. So we investigate what is causing this delay.
And it is the cold front that you have been waiting for. It is the strongest front that we have seen since April, and it is headed this way, coming up when temperatures will drop by, get this, over 20 degrees for highs.
This is what you want to see. Chris Paul in Oklahoma City. So we're going to talk to him. It's the first time he's a member of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and it's next on KOCO 5 Sports.
Work still continuing tonight on the new, just opened Oklahoma City Boulevard downtown.
Yeah, the road opened a month ago. ODOT said that they'd be finished with their part by the middle of September, but we've learned there is still some more work to be done.
KOCO's Dylan Richards investigates what's causing this delay.
Abigail, Jesse, there's a few reasons. One, though, is because ODOT says the city asked them to add in an extra bit of work here, changing that part of Klein from a one-way to a two-way. And by next spring, the city says they're planning to put a traffic light here, crossing both lanes of the boulevard on Klein, especially when it's busy, not exactly easy right now. Apart from that, though, the major work here is done. The state just finishing up what they call detail work. You might remember the last time we did a story here, we saw covered traffic lights, confusion at intersections. Tonight when we drove the boulevard, most lights are on and working. ODOT tells me their work should be done by late October. And the state asking people to keep in mind that everybody is still getting used to this road. It's got new and sometimes unexpected traffic patterns. In Oklahoma City, Dylan Richards, KOCO 5 News. Back to you.
All right, Dylan, thank you. The biggest concert in Oklahoma City history, this to celebrate the opening of Scissortail Park. Nearly 30,000 people were there at the Kings of Leon concert.
Yeah, MSA first responders say they were prepared for almost any situation after months of planning.
One thing you got to be prepared for is mass casualty. God forbid something major happened.
And John Graham with MSA says that they stationed crews in and around the park to ensure a fast response. MSA says they received 18 calls for help. Most of those were for playground injuries, heat illness, and intoxication calls. Police say they did not receive any serious calls.
Yeah, this warm weather that we have had lately is still going to play a role on our bodies. I mean, you expect it to feel like fall, and it's not feeling anything like fall. Although, hey, we're about to go into October here. Instead, the temperatures are still feeling every bit like late August, early September here. Temperatures outside, mid-80s, still feels like close to 90 degrees. And so we start the new month tomorrow, and it's going to look a lot like what we've been dealing with for the last couple of months here. How about 73 degrees at 8 a.m.? You know, mom, dad, out the door. Kids love this right here. So we're not really complaining about the morning low temperatures. We're okay with 73 degrees in the morning, but going into the afternoon, you know, you wouldn't mind it if at least it felt a little bit more like fall, like highs in the 70s, right? Instead, we're well above that. Winds are still rather strong as well. Winds are up around 20 miles per hour. So tomorrow, average high, 79 degrees. Instead, we're at 10 degrees and then some above that. 88 Oklahoma City, 90s up to the northeast, mid-80s out in western Oklahoma. But there are changes coming into the forecast, and those changes will begin as early as tomorrow night. Now, you're not going to see them across Oklahoma City, Stillwater, Ponca City. Instead, we're going to see those changes out across western and northwestern Oklahoma. 20-40% chance of rain, 80% chance of rain out towards Guyman. If anything, the forecast this week when it comes to rainfall, we're going to keep the highest rain totals where we usually need to see the rain the most in parts of the state that tend to be the driest out to the west and northwest. So rain chance tomorrow night, and then as we go into Wednesday night and into Thursday morning, a cold front moving in this direction. It's going to really increase those rain chances. Very tight rain gradient. So if you're just north and west of I-40 and I-44, 80% chance of rain. Look how fast that rain chance drops, though, from Enid to Stillwater to the metro. 40% chance of rain. Still, though, decent rain chances. Rain chances will continue to remain in the forecast for the rest of the week. And as this front moves in, we are going to watch at least a small pocket of the state from Ponca City, Enid, Perry, Stillwater, down to Guthrie for seeing an isolated wind threat in the strongest of storms up to 60 miles per hour. But the best news of all, and this right here is what I think everyone's been waiting to see. Look at the drop in temperatures. We go from 88 degrees tomorrow to a high on Thursday of only 68 degrees. That is a 20-degree drop in temperatures. It looks great. It's going to feel great. I mean, if anything, this will get you excited for fall. Unfortunately, it's what we call like a fake fall, because look, as we go back into the weekend, temperatures are climbing. We're getting back into the 80s before another front moves in here. There's still a lot of good news in this forecast. There's a lot of rain chances, which we desperately need. There's some cooler air coming in, but still, if you're looking for those highs consistently, like in the 60s and 70s, this is not it yet. So in the meantime, next 7-day rain projections, widespread 1 to 2 inches of rain, 2 to 3 inches of rain out across western and northwestern Oklahoma. Definitely a good looking forecast as we start the month of October, but still temperatures, we're going to need just to do a little bit more work on them, and we will. But in the meantime, rain chances for the next 5 days, definitely there. Wednesday highlighted in red because that risk for severe weather. As we go into next week, this looks phenomenal. Now, we're loving this. High of only 70 next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But late next week, temperatures begin to climb back up, and we're going to go into the second week of October back with above average temperatures. Still, though, a lot of 70s in the forecast, and those morning lows next week are going to be on the cool side. And you're up to date with the latest First Alert forecast.
Now, KOCO 5 Sports.
Out of the lights and on to the stage. There he is, the newest member of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Number 3, future Hall of Famer Chris Paul. Doing a little shooting for Thunder Media Day there at the Chesapeake Energy Arena. Look, we've come full circle here. Chris Paul back in the city where it all started. Remember, it was 15 years ago. He was a 20-year-old rookie for the Oklahoma City Hornets. He won the Rookie of the Year that year right here in Oklahoma City, and now you see him. He's a 34-year-old grizzled veteran, and he's the point guard for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I'm excited. Definitely different being back. I had an opportunity to start my career here in 2005, so blessed and fortunate to be back. I'm excited. It's funny because a lot of people try to tell your truth or try to tell your story and say what you want and all this different type stuff, but I'm excited about the opportunity. I'm excited about our team and excited about building.
Thunder basketball's here. Opening night, October 23rd. They're on the road against the Utah Jazz, but Thunder basketball, they're going to start playing games here in a couple of weeks, guys.
Yeah, right around the corner. Bryan Keating, thank you much. Keeping everyone safe at school, and it's all within an app on your phone. We're going to tell you how it works and what our state superintendent is saying about it.
And a popular heartburn drug no longer available at some of our national pharmacies. Why they are taking Zantac off of store shelves, coming up. A panic button for schools. Tonight, a new app to help protect students, teachers, and school staff. This is actually being used across the state, Jess. It is called the Rave Panic Button.
Yeah, this connects users with first responders, and it sends a text alert to school staff in case of an emergency. KOCO's Marky Martin had a chance to sit down with our state superintendent to talk about this new tool.
It's called the Rave Panic Button. Superintendent Joy Hoffmeister says 1,000 schools across the state have opted into this app in just 2 months.
It's free for school districts, and it can be statewide. And again, this is something the legislature made a priority.
Districts will choose who has access to use the app, which includes 5 emergency buttons.
And it might be something as simple as there is a stray unknown dog on the campus. The bell's about to ring. 100 elementary school children are about to charge out those doors, and there's need for immediate information. That may not involve the 911 centers.
Hoffmeister says this app would also eliminate multiple 911 phone calls and give first responders a blueprint of the building they're responding to.
Having the kinds of connections with students, the mental health support that our children need, this is also just as important, if not more, than any kind of mobile app.
Reporting in Oklahoma City, Marky Martin, KOCO 5 News.
And Superintendent Hoffmeister says this app has been endorsed by the Oklahoma Sheriff's Association as well as 911 centers across our state. The app has been implemented in all states and is currently used in several state school systems.
A popular heartburn drug pulled from some store shelves, Zantac, and the generic version no longer available at CVS or Walgreens. The FDA says the drug could contain something that causes cancer. Now, many people tonight are asking this same question.
They're asking, do I need to quit taking it? Of course, we do not want to quit taking the medication without contacting your physician, because that can cause problems also.
Danny Lynch with Thrifty Pharmacy says she is not pulling it from her store shelves because there is not a recall at this point. She also said the chances of getting cancer from this drug are very slim. Coming up tonight at 10, windows busted in broad daylight. We're talking about thousands of dollars stolen from a man's car. How this victim may have been targeted. KOCO's Paris Jones talked to him. You will hear from him tonight when you join us for KOCO 5 News at 10, of course, after The Good Doctor.
That's right. And if you want to see the news a little earlier, just switch over to MeTV. We always have a newscast there at 9 o'clock. We'll see you then. Wheel of Fortune is coming up next. Take care.